Coming up next, a verdict at Klaus Barbie's Nazi war crimes trial in France.
The amazing end to two men's attempt to cross the Atlantic with hot air.
And people selling illegal fireworks say, so what if someone's hurt?
A Manhattan cop shoots a pit bull dead to save two children.
See you soon.
Fox News at 7. Good news travels fast. Weeknights at 7 on Fox Channel 5.
There's no place like Friendly.
Definitely 2-scoop wet.
For a real ice cream treat, no fast food place puts a smile on your face.
Pistachio, please.
Like our food and ice cream will.
Come in for summer fun at Friendly and try our pina colada and new strawberry margarita sundaes.
No place has the flavors.
Pistachios, sir.
Or that glad to see you smile. There's no place like Friendly. Kauffman, the carpet experts, we've got it.
It's Kauffman's star-studded July 4th sale.
And the savings are out of this world.
On a special selection of star quality carpets at half price. Padding and installation included.
And there's more. The carpet you buy now is yours with 12 months to pay, interest-free.
So get to Kauffman's July 4th sale now. Save 50% and finance 1 year interest-free.
You'll thank your lucky stars you did.
Kauffman, the carpet experts, we've got it all.
Time has never been more precious. The 18-karat gold Rado Florence. See the entire Rado collection at Torneau, of course.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Live from Channel 5 News in New York, this is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. The people of Lyon have put the butcher of Lyon behind bars for the rest of his life. Just a few hours ago, a jury in that town found Klaus Barbie guilty of crimes against humanity. France doesn't have the death penalty. Jim Ryan has the story of the trial and reaction here in New York.
Before the verdict was returned in the Lyon courtroom, Barbie was brought in handcuffed. He broke a 7-week silence and declared his innocence. He denied the murders, the deportations, the tortures, including the roundup of Jewish children from the mountain refuge of Isieux. As the 341 separate accusations were read, Barbie looking at his daughter, Uta Messner, who had come from Austria. Then, to receive the verdict and the sentence, Barbie stood in the dock, head bowed. Judge Andre Sardini announced the verdict, guilty on all counts. The 100 spectators in the courtroom broke into applause. No extenuating circumstances were found, so Barbie got the maximum sentence allowable in France, life in prison. Here in New York, the reaction was not exultation, but satisfaction that justice had at last been done.
Well, the wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly well. There is no question in the minds of the people who were victimized by him that he was a cruel and ruthless murderer. He was the butcher of Lyon. I had family in Lyon, and the stories of the people who live there, of his incredible systematic cruelty, just was crying out for justice. And so this is an act of justice, not an act of vengeance. This criminal is finally brought to the core of justice. And I think that all the victims must feel some sense of relief that all of their suffering was not in vain.
So the feeling here in New York's Jewish community, which happens to be the largest in the world, is that this verdict sends a very clear message to remaining Nazi war criminals. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm Jim Ryan, Fox TV News, Channel 5.
Two daredevils who tried to make history went down in the drink today. Their claim to a first is still up in the air. British pop music tycoon and airline owner Richard Branson and Swedish-born balloon designer Per Lindstrand rode a jet stream across the Atlantic from Maine in less than 2 days. They were attempting the first transatlantic hot air balloon voyage ever, and their London operations center was so confident, workers broke out the champagne. But then came confusion and panic with word that Branson and Lindstrand had ditched in the North Channel between Ireland and their destination, Scotland. Caught under a low cloud bank, they tried to land on a Northern Ireland beach. The button that should have blown explosive bolts to uncouple their capsule from the balloon failed, and they found themselves being blown out to sea, skimming and bashing the waves at tremendous speed.
Threw himself off at about 70 foot in the air, and with all he had on was his parachute. He didn't have a life raft on, and I found myself hurtling on back and upwards, and the balloon myself came down quite fast, and as it hit the water, I threw myself over the back.
British rescue helicopters and ships raced to the scene, and Branson was quickly saved from the sea. Lindstrand spent hours in the water fighting a heavy current with no life raft. A high-speed dinghy found him just in time. Both men were flown to a hospital in Scotland, and they're fine.
We clocked the fastest time ever recorded by a hot air balloon. I believe it was 138 miles per hour. And we crossed from the main American landmass to the European landmass. So obviously we achieved most of the things we set out to do. I can't pretend this was the way we would have liked it to end.
And a spokesman says there's photographic evidence the adventurers touched down in Ireland, showing groove marks in a field. But they did not complete the crossing with a landing on fresh water or dry land. And Branson says he'll never subject his family again to such an ordeal. John?
On Long Island, the police in Nassau County are busy right now hunting for an accused robber and rapist who's still on the loose. His partner in last night's escape was captured tonight thanks to a phone tip to the police in Queens. Bob O'Brien reports there are some serious questions about the escape and why police weren't told about it sooner.
4 Nassau County Sheriff's officers were leading 13 inmates from the courthouse into a van last night. All prisoners were supposedly handcuffed in pairs. Suddenly, 2 inmates were out of their cuffs and on their way to temporary freedom. 2 big questions tonight. How did 34-year-old Leroy Malcolm and his alleged partner in a string of 1986 robberies and sex attacks, 31-year-old Cornelius Martin, get a key to open their handcuffs? Second question, why did it take so long for sheriff's officers to call for help from the Nassau County Police?
Apparently they had opened their cuffs. Normally they're cuffed right hand to right hand. One of the officers took chase. The other 3 officers locked the other inmates into a van, got into another vehicle and took chase after alerting Central of the escape. Other officers, correction officers in the area, were alerted to assist in the search. The Nassau County Police Department was alerted.
How long was it from the time of the break to the time that the Nassau County Police were notified?
The best information I have at this time, it was approximately 15 minutes after the escape.
And how did that notification come, as far as you know?
It was an informal notification at the time, and more formal notifications took place later on.
How much later on?
I have no idea.
Do you think that this could have been a factor in the fact that they made good their escape?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Because the people were being pursued by corrections officers at the time.
This afternoon, the focus of the search shifted to Far Rockaway, Queens, where both suspects once lived. Heavily armed police from New York City and Nassau County converged on Beach 26th Street in the Beachside Bungalows complex. Lawmen broke into several abandoned bungalows where they thought Malcolm and Martin may have been hiding. Since late last night, Nassau County detectives had been staking out this Far Rockaway area. This search proved futile, but within a few hours, searchers enjoyed their first bit of success when Cornelius Martin was nabbed just 15 blocks away. Bob O'Brien, Fox News, Channel 5.
A 6-year-old Long Island boy is in critical condition tonight after he was hit in the head by a stray bullet while playing in his backyard. Police say Michael Estrada was playing with a 3-year-old cousin outside his house in Center Moriches when a bullet came through a wooden shed on the property next door. Police say it appears to be an accident, but so far they have not found the weapon. Michael was taken to Stony Brook University Hospital to have bullet fragments removed from his skull.
Well, most of our city was closed for the July 4th holiday, but it was a busy day up at Yankee Stadium. The Bronx Bombers are back in first place, and it's the first day of a new beer policy. The Yanks are in the second game of a doubleheader against Texas, and Pablo Guzman is at the stadium right now. Pablo.
John, going on behind me right now is a fireworks display that's put on by the Grucci family for the 4th of July holiday weekend, and Yankee fans are indeed celebrating. They lost the first game, but the second game just finished moments ago, and the Yankees won that one. So they've maintained the lead somewhat with Toronto. Carl White, of course, will fill you in. For just a moment, let's share the fireworks display with you. Yankee fans came here in a rare doubleheader. Yesterday's game was rained out, and so they were in something of a picnic kind of mood. A lot of families came out, and people were still coming to the park in droves as the first game was underway. The exhilaration of being in first place had Yankee fans talking in July as though it were October.
You don't need a hidden camera to find the fireworks for sale in Lower Manhattan. They're absolutely everywhere.
All right. Now, one of the things that has happened, by the way, is that some of the people we talked to about the beer and beer sections is that, well, those who wanted the beer refused to go on camera. A lot of people we talked to, most people with families, though, approved the idea of having no beer sections. Reporting live from Yankee Stadium in the South Bronx, Pablo Guzman, and now, here you go.
The best. Number one. We're going all the way, babe.
There he's got it.
All the way.
True Blue Yankee fans enjoyed their surprise holiday doubleheader with the added lift of holding down first place. Being number one means the action is brisk at the advanced ticket windows as well, and the air is full of optimism. How do you feel about being 3 games in front?
Sounds good. Hope they continue.
All right.
Hope to be here in October.
Oh, I don't think it's a fluke. I think they have a terrific team. I think they're going to go all the way. Absolutely.
But along with appreciating Don Mattingly at the plate and the dizziness of first place, the fans were also talking about the restricting of beer sales from about 1,000 stadium seats.
I don't think there's enough seats put aside. If they're going to do something like that, they should have more seats. But I don't think they can control it. I think people have a right to drink their beer.
Well, even though I got a beer in my hand, I feel they should ban drinking from the ballparks altogether.
Really? Why?
Well, I just feel you don't have to drink 20 beers to go in and enjoy a ball game. You could have one beer. I drink one beer before I go to a game, and that's it.
Well, when the old-time Yankee stars wanted a beer, they often went to Anna Donahue's bar in New Jersey, and that's why so many people in Garfield knew and loved her, and why they're so upset tonight at her brutal murder. And you could still buy Danger for a few dollars today. People stocked up on fireworks, and nobody seemed to care. They're against the law. And we'll check out some of the safe ways to help celebrate the holiday. We'll be right back.
Whether you're